Have you ever met a woman who seemed deeply interested in you? Her eyes lingered a second longer, her smile held meaning, but then suddenly she became distant, cold, disconnected. You're left confused, asking yourself, did I imagine the connection? Did I do something wrong? You didn't. What you witnessed is one of the most misunderstood behaviors in female psychology: women ignoring the very men they secretly love. And today, I'm going to tell you exactly why that happens, what it means, and most importantly, how a man rooted in Stoicism should respond. This isn't some dating trick or shallow pickup tactic. This is raw psychological truth, a truth most men never hear and even fewer understand. But once you do it, will change how you view women, yourself, and relationships forever. Let's begin. Let's get one thing straight. Women are not the same as men emotionally, psychologically, or biologically. The way a woman handles desire, especially emotional or romantic desire, is deeply nuanced. You see, when a man feels love or attraction, he typically moves toward it. He pursues it. He acts. But when a woman feels strong, emotions especially, ones that make her vulnerable, a response might be the opposite. She pulls back. She ignores. She distances herself. Why? Because for a woman, vulnerability is risk. Biologically and evolutionarily, women have more to lose when it comes to intimacy and relationships. So they've developed internal mechanisms, many subconscious, to test, to protect, and to assess. Ignoring a man she loves is not an act of cruelty. It's often a test of his emotional strength. So before you misinterpret her distance, understand this. Women do not test to be manipulative. They test to feel safe. A woman ignores you not because she wants to hurt you, but because your reaction will tell her everything she needs to know about your emotional stability, your self-control, and your internal power. Let me say it again. Her silence is often a mirror reflecting your self-mastery, or lack of it. So, what are the real reasons women ignore the men they love? Let's explore the depths psychologically, emotionally, biologically, and even spiritually. There's more than one reason, and understanding each one will sharpen your awareness, not just with women, but with life itself. Reason 1. She feels too much. Strong feelings can be terrifying, especially for someone who's been hurt before. When a woman feels deeply drawn to a man, she often gets scared. She's not just afraid of rejection, she's afraid of being consumed. What if he doesn't feel the same way? What if she gets attached and he walks away? What if he sees her heart and doesn't protect it? So what does she do? She suppresses. She pulls away. She creates distance between herself and the thing that stirs her deepest vulnerability. From the outside, it looks like indifference, but on the inside, she's in emotional warfare. Most men, when ignored, chase harder. They call more. They text. They become needy. But the Stoic man, the master of himself, understands this is not a call to chase. It's a call to hold frame. Reason 2. She's testing your masculine core. Masculinity, at its highest level, is not about aggression or dominance. It's about emotional mastery. And one of the ways a woman unconsciously tests a man's masculine energy is by withdrawing her attention. She wants to see, will you collapse? Will you overreact? Will you spiral into neediness and self-doubt? Or will you remain grounded, unshaken, unmoved, undisturbed? Understand this. A woman feels safest with a man who is not emotionally dependent on her. She doesn't want to be your emotional oxygen. She wants to be desired, not required. And her silencer ignoring you's often a crucible designed to reveal your true emotional foundation. If you react with panic, neediness, or anger you fail the test. But if you respond with calm strength, quiet confidence, and focused detachment, you pass. Reason 3. She's subconsciously reversing the power dynamic. In many cases, when a woman meets a man she truly admires, especially one she sees as rare or powerful, she may feel emotionally off balance. Her instinct might be to regain control, not over you, but over her own feelings. By pulling away, she restores a sense of personal equilibrium. She wants to make sure she's not being swept off her feet too fast. She wants to know she can stay in control. And ironically, the men who react to her distance by clinging confirm her fear. They show they're easily emotionally manipulated. But the man who gives her space, who lets her come and go without losing his center, becomes even more attractive. He becomes a mystery, a source of calm, and a challenge. Women love challenges, not because they want to struggle, but because the climb gives meaning to the connection. Reason 4. She's been hurt. And you remind her of that pain. Sometimes a woman sees something in you that reminds her of a past experience, a wound, a betrayal, a loss. Even if you've done nothing wrong, your presence might stir feelings she's buried. And in that moment, she doesn't know whether to lean in or run away. So she chooses silence. Not because she doesn't care, but because she cares and is scared. In this moment, your reaction is everything. If you try to force closeness, you confirm her fear. But if you hold stillness, you become a safe space she can return to when ready. This is where Stoicism becomes your weapon. Stoicism doesn't mean emotionless. It means you don't let emotion dictate your behavior. You feel, but you don't flinch. You observe, but you don't overreact. You lead by staying still. Reason 5. She's afraid you'll reject her first. Many women live in a world where they've seen men love them, then leave them. So even when she feels something real, something deep, she may reject you first, so she doesn't have to feel the pain of being rejected later. This is not logic. This is emotional defense. To you, it may seem irrational, but to her, it feels like survival. This is why it's not enough to just say the right things. Your energy must communicate strength, patience, and sovereignty. You can't fake this. Women are biologically tuned to detect emotional weakness. She may ignore you not because she doubts you, but because she doubts herself. And if you fall apart during that silence, you confirm her fear that you weren't strong enough to begin with. So, what should you do when a woman ignores you? Let's be clear. There is no perfect answer, no script, no technique. But there are principles, and those principles come from Stoicism, from masculine psychology, and from inner power. Here they are. 1. Do not chase. When you chase a woman who's ignoring you, you make her the prizee and you become the pursuer. This instantly kills attraction. The man who chases attention loses value. The man who commands attention radiates power. 2. Control the frame. The frame is the emotional context of the interaction. If she pulls away and you panic, you've lost the frame. If she pulls away and you remain focused, calm, and consistent, you keep the frame. Frame is not about control over her, it's about control over yourself. 3. Let her come back on her own. A woman's silence is often temporary. It's a test, a reset, a search for clarity. When she feels your grounded energy from afar, she often returns. But if you're emotionally loud texting, pleading, confronting you, close the door she was slowly walking back through. Give her space. Let her feel your absence. Your silence can speak volumes. 4. Focus on your mission. A Stoic man does not orbit around a woman. He orbits around his purpose. When a woman sees that you don't stop your life just because she's silent, she respects you. When your mission remains, first, you become magnetic. 5. Reflect but don't ruminate. Ask yourself, was I needy? Did I move too fast? Did I reveal emotional weakness? Learn the lesson. Sharpen your awareness. But don't spiral. Don't obsess. Self-mastery means extracting wisdom, not creating stories. 6. Detach from the outcome. Whether she returns or doesn't, you win because you stayed true to yourself. You didn't beg. You didn't break. You didn't betray your masculine core. You let the storm pass without losing your ground. That is power. So here's the truth. The woman who ignores you may love you more than you know, but love alone is never enough. A woman wants to feel safe in your presence, not just physically, but emotionally, energetically, spiritually. And the only way she feels that safety is when she feels your strength. Not through words, not through gifts, but through your silence, your stillness, your unshakable frame. This is what makes her trust you. This is what makes her return. This is what makes her love you out loud. And to every man watching this, remember this. You cannot control how a woman feels, but you can control how you respond. And when your response is grounded, calm, and sovereign, you become unforgettable. So the next time she ignores you, don't panic. Smile, stand tall, and let her silence amplify your strength. Because the man who needs nothing attracts everything. If this message resonated with you, share it with a brother who needs to hear this. And if you want to become the kind of man women never forget, the kind of man rooted in stoicism, power, and emotional mastery, then subscribe now. We're just getting started. Until next time, stay calm, stay focused, and stay untouchable.